Hello dear learners, all of you are welcome to the one-way online English class of SHIMU-REZA and college. This is Shamran Kumar Mandal on speaking stand before you today. Dear learners, today the topics we are going to discuss with you is the greatest scientific achievements. Unit 2, Lesson 1, English first part. Dear learners, the lesson actually talks about some of the greatest scientific achievements of the last 50 years, such as the artificial heart, cell phone, the personal computers, the fastest communication satellite, moon landing, the internet, www, World Wide Web, and the microchips are mentioned as well, etc. Dear learners, in the previous class, we have discussed about artificial heart. Today I would like to start from next scientific achievement, cell phone. Dear learners, let's start our today's topics. Dear learners, I would like to discuss with you on the basis of the first part, our English first part textbook. Cell phone, page number 18. Dear learners, cell phones. Phones have been around since the late 1800s, but cell phones made their appearance only in the 1990s. Dear learners, in this sentence, we find a very important word, appearance. Appearance, arrival or emergence. Dear learners, I would like to show one word, appearance, written from A-P-P-E-A-R-N-C-E, A-P-P-E-A-R-E-N-C-E, appearance. Dear learners, this is a noun. This is a noun form of the word arrival, A-R-R-I-V-A-L, arrival, and emergence, E-M-E-R-G-E-N-C-E, emergence. These are the famous spelling of appearance. Okay, phones have been around since the late 800s, but cell phones made their appearance, their arrivals, their emergence only in the 1990s. Today, by some estimates, more than 100 million people in Bangladesh and more than 4.6 billion people worldwide have mobile phones. Okay, dear learners, here we find another important word today, by some estimates, approximation. I would like to show one word. This is very much important word, estimate, E-S-T-I-M-A-T-E. E-S-T-I-M-A-T-E, estimate. Dear learners, this is also a noun form, estimate. Approximation, A-P-P-R-O, approximation, M-A-T-I-Y, approximation. Dear learners, estimate, approximation. So today, by some estimate, some approximation, more than 100 million people in Bangladesh, and more than 4.6 billion people worldwide have mobile phones, and now already increasing day by day the number of using mobile phone, Next, anything that is useful and spreads so fast has to be considered one of the greatest inventions of all time. The learners, in this sentence, we also find another words and very important words that is very much important for our question, SSC exam question. Spread, anything that is useful, and spread, I mean extend, expand. Dear learners, I would like to show you the word expand. Spread, S-P-R-E-A-D. Spread is a verb. Dear learners, it's a verb. Spread, I mean extend, E-X-T-E-N-D, extend, and also expand, E-X-P-A-N-D, expand. These are the famous synonym of this word expand. Okay, this is a verb form. Another word here is considered. I mean regard. Considered. So first has to be considered one of the greatest inventions of all time. Considered, I mean regard. Considered, an important word. Considered, also a verb form. C-O-N, C-S-I-D-E-R-E-D. Considered, I mean considered, verb form. It is a past form also. Considered, I mean regard. R-E-G-A-R-D. I-E-D, regarded. Okay, it's the verb form of the word considered, the synonym regard. You know, and the next sentence, just 2 decades ago, just 2 decades ago in Bangladesh, even landlines were difficult to obtain. The learners, just 2 decades ago in Bangladesh, even landlines were difficult to obtain. Obtain means acid. What? Attain or gain also. I would like to show you one word. Attain or gain later after completing this sentence. Let alone mobile phones. Let alone mobile phones. Okay? I would like to do one word. The learners obtain, obtain, and obtain. Obtain. This is a verb in this sentence. The synonym of obtain, achieve, S-C-H-I-E-V-E, achieve. Another attain, gain, attain, 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 gain, gain, etc. These words are the absolute synonym of obtain. Okay, dear learners, you should write down. Just 2 decades ago in Bangladesh, even landlines were difficult to achieve or gain or obtain or attain, let alone mobile phones. Today, people from all social strata use cell phone. I mean, today the people of all walks of life use cell phone. Strata are very much another important words in this passage. Okay, strata, I mean class, level, divisions. I will show you one word later. Later on, use cell phones from street vendors to business executives in luxury cars, and from villagers to urbanites. In this sentence, dear learners, we find a lot of important words. I would like to show you strata, vendors, executives, and urbanites. Learners, I'd like to show you one board. Strata is T-R-A-T-A. Is T-R-A-T-A. Strata. Dear learners, this is a noun. Class, C-L-A-S-S, class, level, L-E-V-E-L, level, division, D-I-V-I-S-I-O-N, division, etc. are the very most important synonym of strata. I mean, all parts of life use cell phone from street vendors, and the important word vendors, I mean seller, worker, vendor, V-E-N-D-O-R-S, vendors, plural form as vendor. I mean this is also a noun form. This is a seller, S-E-L-L-E-R, seller, worker, A-W-K-E-R, worker, etc. are the famous synonym of vendor, seller, worker. From street worker, street seller, street vendors to business executives, I mean administrator, officials. I would like to show you one word. Executive, E-X-E-C-U-T-I-V-E, executive. Okay, executive. Administrator, administrator, officials, O-F-F-I-C-I-L, official, are the very much synonym of executive. Officials. Another important word, luxury cars, and from pleasures to urbanites. Urbanites means city dwellers. I would like to show you one very much important word, urbanites. U-R-B-A-N-I-T-E. Yes, urbanites. I mean city dwellers. City, C-I-T-Y, dwellers, D-W-E-L-L-E-R-S, city dwellers. City dwellers, right? Noun from executive. Executive in this sentence also used as a noun from dwellers, no doubt. The very most important strata, vendors, executives, urbanites. These are the very most important vocabulary in this passage also. Then onwards, in next sentence, alright, since May 2015, Bangladesh joined its South Asian neighbors, India 862 millions and Pakistan 122 millions, on the list of countries with 100 million or more mobile phones users. The other countries on the list are China 1 billion users, Russia, Brazil, the United States, Indonesia, Japan, Germany, the Philippines, and Nigeria. Dear learners, so we can imagine the spreadness, the wideness of the users of mobile phone. Dear learners, it is very much revolutionary sense. It has become a very much revolutionary change in the scientific sector. Dear learners, next, the personal computers. The personal computers. Today, we have talked for granted that we have 1 machine that allows us to access the internet, do word processing, use a calculator, watch TV, play games, and do a host of other things. Dear learners, in this sentence we find a very important word, access. Get into or login. Access. I would like to show the word access. Then access, S-C-C-E-S-S, C-C-E-S-S, access. Then this is a verb, get into or log in. Then access. So today we take for granted that we have one machine that allows us to get into or log in the internet, to do word processing, use a calculator, allows us to get into or log in on the internet, do word processing, use a calculator, watch TV, play games, and do a host of other things. But the personal computers only became available to consumers in 1974, dear learners. But all these are happening, but the personal computers only became available to consumers the public in 1974. Things really took off when Microsoft Windows was introduced. Introduced means initiate or begin or launch. Later on, I would like to show you one word later on. Introduced. The things really took off when Microsoft Windows was introduced. Initiate, begin, launch in 1985, and it's good that it was, since without the prevalence of personal computers, the internet wouldn't have had nearly as big an impact as it has ever since. Obviously, impact and influence, effect, dear learners, I would like to show on board the word introduced. Introduced. Introduce. This is also a verb. Introduce. Verb from verb. It is a past participle from. In this Windows, Microsoft Windows was introduced. The verb past participle from. This sentence is actually a passive form. The synonym initiate. Initiate, T-I, and then initiate, T-I-T-E. Initiate or begin, B-E-G-I, and begin and launch, L-A-U-N, L-A-U-N-C-H, launch. Extra are the very much synonym for introduce. Initiated, began, launched are the past participle from introduced. Okay, these four are the very most important synonyms of introduce. Then learners. So we can say things really took place when Microsoft Windows was begin or launch or initiate, introduced. Learners, the next word, impact. Impact. In 19, begin in 19, Microsoft Windows was launched its journey in 1985, and it's good that it was, since without the prevalence of personal computers, the internet wouldn't have had nearly as big as impact as it has ever since. Dear learners, here very much important, as impact as, as influence as effect as. So I would like to show you the word on the board, whiteboard, impact. 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 Impact here is now influence. Influence, L-U-E-N-C, influence, effect, E-F-F-E-C-T, effect. Dear learners, these are the very much important synonym of the word impact. Dear learners, so the personal computer, the effect of personal computers has the greatest in the world. Dear learners, no doubt. Next. Learners, so I would like to clarify the sentence again. This sentence is very much important for our open-ended question that will be set up in the first passage. Okay, section B, open-ended question. Things really took off when Microsoft Windows was introduced. Initiate launch began in 1985, and it's good that it was, since without the prevalence of personal computer, the internet without have had nearly as big as impact, influence, effect, as influence as it has ever since. It was ever since. Dear learners, today we have discussed about cell phone and the personal computers in details. Dear learners, these two achievements are very much important for our greatest scientific achievements. These greatest scientific achievements, the world has become vast, wider and wider, and the man has become closer and closer. The world has become closer to us. Dear learners, no more today, more when we meet again in the next class. Dear learners, to enjoy our next class, visit our Facebook page by name SHIMU-REZA and College Facebook page, and subscribe our channel. Thank you everybody.